Pop quiz! Which learning management system for WordPress allows you to create and sell membership programs alongside online courses, completely customize the look and feel of your online school, offer decoupled drip schedules, and offer quizzes to your students? You guessed it, that would be Thrive Apprentice. In this video, I'll show you how to add quizzes to your online courses in Thrive Apprentice, coming right up. If you're an online course creator, then one thing you might struggle with is how to assess your students. Since you're not in a formal classroom setting, it's really up to your students to sit down and go through the course material. So how can you be sure that they're learning what you really want them to learn? Rather than simply leaving it up to your students to discipline themselves, try introducing quizzes. Depending on how you set them up in your online course, and we'll go over the various ways to use them, quizzes can help you keep track of who's actually doing the work and learning, figure out placement in terms of whether your student can skip ahead in the material, find out where your students are getting stuck and dropping out of the course, and they can help you pace your students by forcing them to get a passing grade before moving on to newer, more difficult material. The quiz feature in Thrive Apprentice can help you do all of these things. So let's take a look at how to add quizzes to your online courses. We'll start with the very basic feature of simply adding a quiz, and then I'll show you some of the more advanced features that are super powerful and unique to Thrive Apprentice. So to start off, we will assume that you've already built a course in Thrive Apprentice and you simply want to add a quiz at the end of a module so that students can quiz themselves and make sure they've learned the material. Now you can also do things like limit access to the next lesson until the student has passed the quiz, and you can use quizzes in combination with drip scheduling. So those are the more advanced features, and we'll take a look at those as well. So assuming you've already got your course built in Thrive Apprentice, we're going to start with building a quiz, and we'll do that using Thrive Quiz Builder. Now Thrive Quiz Builder is our plugin for adding quizzes to your website. So you can use quizzes for lead generation and growing your email list, but in this case, our quiz is going to be used for quizzing our Thrive Apprentice students. Using our Thrive Apprentice Thrive Quiz Builder dashboard, let's go ahead and add a new quiz. Now we do have some templates here to help you get started quickly depending on the goal for your quiz. Let's choose Build from Scratch, and let's give our quiz a name. Next, let's select a quiz type, and you'll need to think about how you want the results of your quiz to be presented. The number type will allow you to assign a certain number of points to each answer, so you can have answers be worth 0, 1, 2, 3 points, etc. The percentage quiz type allows you to assign points to each answer, but the final result is presented as a percentage. The category quiz type is great for things like personality quizzes, where the results will place the quiz taker in a particular category. But for use in a course, you can also craft your questions and answers in such a way that the results categories might be things like expert, proficient, and novice. The right/wrong quiz type will allow you to choose which answer or answers are right or wrong, and you can have more than one right answer if you wish. And the survey quiz type is for open-ended questions. For this example, let's choose the category quiz type and let's click Continue. Now I'll need to input my results categories. If you would like to display feedback when someone selects an answer, you can do so here. I'll choose Not to display feedback. And now let's choose a quiz style. As you can see, there are several different styles to choose from. Now, if you would like to customize the look of your quiz, the only style at the moment that allows you to do that is the minimalist style. So let's go ahead and choose that one. Next, let's quickly go to Edit Design so you can see what that looks like. So one thing you might want to customize is the main color for your quiz. You can do that by making sure the Quiz Builder Questions container is highlighted in the breadcrumbs. Then go to Main Options and you can choose a new main color. That color will reflect in the answer highlight and also in the button in the corner to move on to the next question. You can customize the question text and the question description by choosing a different font color, different alignment, etc. And you can also customize the answer text. So I'll click on Quiz Answers. Make sure that Quiz Answers is highlighted in the breadcrumbs. Then you can go to the Typography tab to edit the font, color, and more. When you're finished making your customizations, click Save, and let's get back to creating our quiz. Next, let's scroll down here and let's create our quiz questions. So I'll click Add Question, and there's 3 different types of questions you can ask. You can do multiple choice with buttons, multiple choice with images, and open-ended questions. Let's do a multiple choice with buttons question. Now you do have the option to use either a text question, video question, or audio question. For now, we'll keep things simple and I'll use a text question. And now I'll type in my question and the possible answers. Now for the category quiz type, you'll need to assign each answer a category. And that is so at the end of the quiz, Thrive Quiz Builder can tally up the results and figure out which category the quiz taker belongs to. Now, if you like, you can also assign weights to each of these answers, and this can be helpful in the event that a person responds in such a way that 2 categories are fairly close in the results. So if you assign weights, then certain answers can be worth more and can tip the scales toward a particular category. For now, I'll leave weights off. Now you can also assign tags to each answer so that when someone chooses an answer, they will be tagged in your email marketing service with that tag. But you do need to connect your email service in order to set this up. So for now, I'll turn tags off. So I'll go ahead and click Save. And here is our first quiz question. I'll go ahead and add a couple more questions. After adding your questions, I have 3 here. You'll notice that you can move them around in this window. So you can set up a linear flow if you like. Simply connect the bottom of the first question to the top of the second, and the bottom of the second question to the top of the third. So with this flow, everyone who takes the quiz will experience question 1, then they'll go straight to question 2, and then they will go to question 3. Now, Thrive Quiz Builder also has branching logic. So let's remove these connections. And let me move these questions around a bit. And you can have specific answers lead to specific questions. So I can have this answer from question 1 take people to this question, and then I can have answer B take people to this question, as well as answer C. Now there's one more type of scenario I'd like to show you, so let's get rid of these connections. And you can have all of the answers from one question lead to another question, except for example, this answer, that might take people to this question. So you can get really creative with branching logic, and you can create highly customized quizzes. For now, I'll keep things simple, so let's get rid of these connections, and let's just set up a simple linear flow. When you're finished connecting your questions, click Save and Exit. Next, let's take a look at our results page. To edit your results page, click the blue pencil icon. And the results page in Thrive Apprentice is highly customizable. First of all, you can edit the text up here. Everything is click to edit, so you can simply click on the text element and use the options on the left. Now this short code here is your quiz result, so refrain from editing the text inside of these brackets, but you can absolutely add any text you want outside of these brackets. So you can add something like your result is to the beginning of this line, and you can also style this text any way you like, so you can choose a new color, new font, etc. Now if you do happen to delete this short code, it is very easy to add back in. I'll simply place the cursor where I want my quiz result to be. Then I'll go up to the stack of coins icon, and under dynamic text, I'll select quiz shortcodes, and in the second dropdown, I'll select quiz result. Now don't forget, you also have all of these tools, so you can add whatever you like to your results page. For example, you can add a video explaining why a certain quiz result is desirable. So I'll simply look for the video element, and I'll click and drag that into place. And now I'll simply select my source, and I'll paste in the URL to my video. So take a look at the other elements that are available, and don't be afraid to make this quiz results page your own. Now, one thing you may want to add to your quiz, depending on how you're using it inside of your course, is a link or a button so that students can retake the quiz if they want to. Let's say that they failed the quiz and they need to retake it in order to move on to the next lesson. Adding in a text link to retake the quiz is really easy. So let's add in some text at the bottom here. Let's go ahead and add a link to this text. Let's select the dynamic option, and quiz and restart quiz are already selected for us, so I'll just go ahead and click insert. And of course you can adjust the spacing and the layout for this section. When you're finished with all of your customizations, don't forget to save your work. Next, let's talk about the opt-in gate. When you use a quiz to build your email list, what you would typically do is, after the last question, before you show the quiz results, you would show an opt-in form so that people could input their name and email address. You might even offer a free lead magnet related to the quiz to entice people to sign up. But if people are already logged into your website and they're taking your course, presumably you already have their email address because they signed up for your email list when they got access to the course. Now, you might still want an opt-in gate if you're also using this quiz on other parts of your website. So how do we get around this? It's actually really easy. So I'm here in Thrive Quiz Builder. Let's go ahead and edit our quiz. And let's add the opt-in gate. Now, if you'd like to use this quiz in your course, let's click Manage, and then simply tick the box for skipping this opt-in gate for logged-in users. So when you place this quiz inside your course, students will go straight from the last question of the quiz to the results page. Now, as far as the design for the opt-in gate, let's take a super quick look at it. Let's click the blue pencil icon. And here is where you can edit the text, the fonts, and you'll also need to connect this lead generation form to your email service provider. You'll notice at the bottom of the page, users can skip the opt-in gate if they want. If you would like to make this mandatory so that people must sign up for your email list in order to see their quiz results, you can simply delete this element. Now, there's one other option I would like to mention, and that is the splash page. The splash page is shown before question 1 on the quiz, so it's like a little introductory page telling people to click here to start the quiz. So you can add a splash page to your quiz. And it is editable, so let's click Manage, and you can click on the blue pencil icon to edit your splash page. Everything on this page is click to edit, so you can change the background image, the text, the fonts, the styling of this button, spacing, and more. I'll let you explore that on your own so that we can continue. And this is actually the last piece of building your quiz, so after saving your work, let's hop on over to Thrive Apprentice. Now that our quiz is ready to go, let's place the quiz inside of our online course. So I'm here in Thrive Apprentice. Let's go to My Course. Let's navigate to the Content tab. Let's go to the module where I would like to place the quiz. And let's place our quiz after this lesson here. So I'll add a new lesson. Let's give this lesson a name. And I'll click Save. And let's go ahead and edit this lesson content. Now, whether you are using a text lesson, video lesson, or audio lesson, you will always have this post content area to add notes and additional supporting information. So here is where we are going to add our quiz. Let's go to Add Element, and let's search for the quiz element. I'll click and drag that into place, and I'll select my quiz. And it's just that easy. Now, there is one thing I'd like to show you. The option to save users' quiz progress is ticked by default. This is so if your students navigate away from the page and your quiz is long, your students can simply pick back up where they left off. So those are the basics when it comes to adding a quiz to your online course. Next, let's take a look at some of the more advanced features. Now, what if you would like to do more than just have your students have the option of quizzing themselves? What if you would like to make taking the quiz mandatory so that your students cannot move forward without taking the quiz? Well, typically, if there's no quiz involved in a lesson, students can simply click the button in the lower right corner to mark the lesson as complete. If you would like to make the quiz mandatory, you can go to the quiz options, then go to apprentice options, and enable Control the Mark as Complete behavior based on the results of this quiz. If you would like students to complete the quiz and move on regardless of their score, you can leave this on Quiz Completed. If you want to make sure that your students get a specific result or a specific score before they move on, simply select the other option, which is Result is Selected Categories. And then you can select which quiz result will enable the Mark Lesson Complete button. But remember, you can create different types of quizzes, so your options for these results will vary based on the type of quiz you created. For example, if you create a percentage-based quiz, then you can select that you want your students to get a certain % correct on the quiz. And one last note, if a student does not achieve the right percentage or the right answers in order to proceed to the next lesson and they try to click this button, they will get a message saying that they must complete the requirements for the lesson in order to move forward. You can customize this message, and I'll show you where that is. You'll need to go to the Thrive Apprentice Settings tab, then go to Labels and Translations, and then go to Course Navigation. And here is where you can customize that message. All right, the last advanced feature I'd like to show you is that you can also use quizzes in combination with drip scheduling. So I've got my course set up here in Thrive Apprentice. Let's go to the Drip tab. And this is the drip schedule for this course. And remember, you can have multiple drip schedules for a single course, which we call decoupled drip. So let's take a look at this schedule here. Right now, my drip schedule is set so that every single day a new lesson is unlocked. So that is why you see a schedule of +1 day, +2 days, +3 days, etc. Now here is the lesson that contains my quiz, and here is the following lesson. Let's set up this lesson so it can be unlocked either by the drip schedule or by passing this quiz. So let's open the unlock options for this lesson. And here is one condition, which is content unlocked every day. And we're going to set up a second condition by adding a new rule. For this unlock condition, let's select Thrive Quiz Result. And then I'll select the right quiz. And now we can specify what has to happen in order for the lesson to be unlocked. Does the quiz simply need to be completed, or do your students have to have a result of a specific category? I'll choose Result is Selected Categories. And let's say that my students must achieve the Expert category in order to move on to the next lesson. So now we've got these two conditions set up, and at the top of this window, let's change this to Any, so that the content will be unlocked if either of these two conditions are met. So my students can either wait for the content to be unlocked by the drip schedule, or they can take and pass the quiz. Now, if you leave this on all, then my students will need to both wait for the drip schedule to allow access and also pass the quiz. So it's up to you to decide which option you want. For now, I'll choose Any, and I'll click Save. Now, as far as applying this feature to your course, one thing you can do is let your more advanced students skip ahead in the course material by taking assessment quizzes. That way your students can immediately get access to the lessons they need and are appropriate for their level. Next, let's talk about viewing your students' quiz results. So here we are in Thrive Quiz Builder. Let's go to Reports. And let's select a source for our report. So I'll choose a specific quiz. And one handy filter is the ability to view quiz results by location. So you can use the same quiz in multiple places on your website. If you want to see how people did on a quiz in a particular apprentice lesson, each of the locations where the quiz was inserted will show up here. So you can simply select the quiz results for a specific location. Another thing you might find handy is under Show Report. Let's go to Flow. And here's where you can see a broad view of how many people took the quiz and how many people made it all the way to the results page. Then if we go to Questions, then you can see a broad view of the answers your students are selecting for each question, and this will let you know if there's a question that everyone is getting wrong. Now you can also, let's go to Show Report and let's go to Users. And here's where you can see exactly who took the quiz, when they took it, has the quiz been completed, what's their quiz result, and if we go to the Answers column, you can view the exact answers that each student gave for your quiz. So for you as the course instructor, this is all extremely valuable information. You can see which individuals are getting everything right, and also which ones might need a little more help from you to learn the material. All right, so the very last feature I'd like to mention is Thrive Automator integration. Thrive Automator is our plugin for creating automations that integrate your WordPress site with your favorite marketing tools. So let's say that you would like to know if someone enjoyed your course and if they're interested in getting more information about your other courses. So I've created a quiz here in Thrive Quiz Builder, and this quiz is extremely simple. In fact, it's just one question, which is how likely are you to take our other courses? And the possible answers are highly likely, neutral, or not likely. If someone answers highly likely, you can use Thrive Automator to tag that person in your email marketing service, and then in your email marketing service, you can start sending emails about your next launch. So I'll show you just how easy it is to set this up. Let's hop on over to Thrive Automator. All right, so I'm here in Thrive Automator. Let's create an automation. Let's select a trigger. Let's search for user completes a quiz. Here it is. Let's select a quiz title. Here's my feedback quiz. And I'll need to add a new condition, which is I would like a specific quiz result, and I will need that quiz result to be highly likely. Okay, so now I'll click Done. And now let's add another action. And we want to tag a user in our autoresponder. So I'll search for tag user in autoresponder. Now let's select our autoresponder. After you connect your email marketing service to Thrive, you will see it appear in this list. And let's enter in a tag. Okay, so now I'll click Done. And that's it. So let's just click Save and Finish. And we can go ahead and publish our automation. All right, so that was how to add a quiz to your online course in Thrive Apprentice. Quizzes can be a really fantastic addition to your online courses, so I would definitely encourage you to give them a try. You can get Thrive Quiz Builder, Thrive Apprentice, and the rest of our tools when you purchase Thrive Suite. Click the link in the description to learn more. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.